Hey, good morning. Here's everybody's favorite topic, fear. And it's interesting because that's a lot of what people are feeling these days, but it comes out in all sorts of different ways. I'm going to start with a story, and it's actually an old Buddhist story. Once there was a young warrior. Her teacher told her that she had to do battle with fear. She didn't want to do that. It seemed too aggressive, it was scary, and it seemed unfriendly. But the teacher said she had to do it and gave her the instructions for the battle. The day arrived. The student warrior stood on one side, fear stood on the other. The warrior was feeling very small, and fear was looking big and wrathful. They both had their weapons. The young warrior roused herself and went to fear, prostrated 3 times, and asked, "May I have permission to go into battle with you?" Fear said, "Thank you for showing me so much respect that you asked permission." Then the young warrior said, "How can I defeat you?" Fear replied, "My weapons are that I talk fast and get very close to your face. Then you get completely unnerved and you do whatever I say. If you don't do what I tell you, I have no power. You can listen to me and you can have respect for me. You can even be convinced by me. But if you don't do what I say, I have no power." In that way, the student warrior learned how to defeat fear. So there's 3 steps to this. Step 1, name it to tame it. And I've talked about this in several other videos about acknowledging what it is that's coming at us that's disturbing us, whether it's anxiety or anger or fear or whatever. If we acknowledge it, recognize it, and uh, realize what's going on, that starts to take some of its power away. So, and this is all stuff from Melly O'Brien. I gave her a big credit slide at the end, which you'll see. Uh, Take a pause, take a deep, slow breath, and mentally note to yourself, okay, fear is arising. This is a way of bringing mindful acceptance to what's happening, and it helps you to take a step back from it. As the old saying goes, you can name it to tame it. As soon as we start to fight something, we lose power. It activates our stress response system, and as I've said multiple times, that really slows our brain down. Second one, meet fear with love. We all know that love is the most powerful thing. Next, see if you can bring a sense of compassion towards yourself and the fear. Instead of resisting it in any way, of seeing it as bad, think of having the attitude towards it that you would have towards a loved one who was hurting. Meet fear with love. It can be helpful to imagine that you are breathing compassion and tenderness into and out of from where you feel the sensation of the emotion most strongly. So if you feel it in your chest, breathe in love to your chest. If you're feeling it in your stomach, breathe in love, send that to your stomach. Another approach is to place a hand where you feel those sensations. And I talked about that yesterday briefly, and breathe into those. And again, when we get something coming at us that we don't like, if we fight it, we lose power. If we say to it, "Oh, hi, how are you? I see that you're back. I see that you're here. What are you trying to teach me?" Then it becomes something that's much easier to work with. And the third step is do it anyway. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, do it anyway. Remember when fear told a student, if you do not do what I say, I have no power. It was in this way that she learned how to defeat fear. Defeating fear is not about eliminating it, it's about living a meaningful and fulfilling life despite the fear being part of our experience. So even though fear may be present, aim to reconnect with what matters most to you and take action guided by your values and your heart's desires in the moment. We all feel those things, and if we understand that we can work through them, if we acknowledge them, welcome them, look at what it's trying to teach us, then we can start to move forward, even though it's there. So that's class for today. This is Melly O'Brien. She has a, a weekly, I think it's weekly or monthly, a newsletter she sends out, MsMindfulness.com. Look her up. I've learned lots of stuff from her. So thank you, Melly. And I'm going to go through this procedure, which always baffles me to some extent. Stop recording. And I'll see you tomorrow.